Holy smokeroonies. Look at this US dollar Japanese yen. Didn't I tell you they're going to take profits? I told you before. I told you before it happened. Look, guys, now we see the data and it confirms exactly what I told you. How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is your latest CFTC data that was reported on April 30th, 2024. Welcome back, welcome back. What a crazy week we had. Wow. We called two massive moves in the euro US dollar. If you didn't see that, you need to join our Telegram channel and see what we're posting. We also posted it on our Twitter channel, or X, whatever you want to call it. And we basically forecasted the move on the euro from the reaction from the US dollar rate release and NFP before the moves took place. So hope you guys checked that out. So here's the latest set of data. And as you can see, we always like to look at the change column. And if you take a look at the change column, what do you see? You see that the Aussie was bullish. The USCAD was bearish. All right. US dollar Japanese yen, a little bit bearish. Why? We'll get to that later. But remember I told you they're going to take profits on long positions? That's right. That's exactly what took place. Okay. So let's look at S&P 500. Bearish. And we got a little bit of bearishness in bonds. Okay. Now that we get that out of the way, let's start by examining gold as we always like to do. So, looking at gold, what do we see? Well, let's just look at the long positions first, right? Long positions have been aggressive for quite some time. Since early March, actually, they've been aggressive. And so if you look at the positions, you'll see that they haven't really been moving anytime lately. Look. Sitting in the 280s, 270s, high 270s, and they're just sitting there. Why is that taking place? Well, remember what was taking place on the monthly chart and what we were talking about. We had price bring two big momentum candles to the upside. Now the second momentum candle started to come back down, but we still have this big move that took place. So what's going on now? Well, if you've been watching our live shows that we've been posting and doing each and every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, you gotta watch those. But if you've been watching that, you've been seeing my explanation for what I suspect is coming, and that is a basing candle throughout the month of May. So with that being said, price is just sitting at the highs, and the institutions are not making much of a move with their positions. As of this moment, okay, you look at short positions, they're not increasing them. You look at long positions, they're not increasing them. So is there anything to gauge from this data right now? Not really, all right? Not at this point. So if we look at retail sentiment, what do we see? 53% is short. So even retail don't know which direction to go, all right? They're kind of like, let's just do nothing right now. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see that there was a time that retail sentiment was somewhat bearish, not aggressively bearish, but just a little bit bearish at these highs, right? And ever since then, they've been offloading their positions, and now we're at 52%. So there's nothing really to glean from this, and that's okay, because we don't always have to have strong biases. Right now, it's neutral. I'm not looking to trade gold, not doing anything with gold. I'm just sitting on the sidelines for the time being, okay? Here we have oil. Nice drop we got in oil. Nice, very nice. And do you remember what spurred this move to the downside? Remember what was reported on the news about Israel attacking Iran? Well, a lot of people started speculating that oil was going to continue higher, and it dropped, okay? Now, they were taking some profits, and you can see that here with their positions. Remember, they were 403,000, 411, and then they dropped them down to 381 this prior week, this last week's data. You can see that they increased their positions. Now, one important thing is if you take a look at their short positions, they're still very cooled off. Yes, they've increased them a bit since the beginning of April, but nothing very significant at this point. Okay? So, bullishness, yes. If you look at this set of data here, okay, between March 12th and April 9th, you can see that there was a bullish bias, but look at how it's been declining since then. 81 now down to 76%. And for good reason, because at the end of the day, what's happening? Price is dropping. Oops, let's go back to that. At the end of the day, what's happening? Price is dropping, okay? So I'm not that surprised that they are taking their foot off the pedal with long positions at this point. So I'm not trading oil, and it's because there isn't any strong biases. There's no strong trends, so I'm just leaving this on the sidelines for the time being. All right, let's take a look at the US dollar. Interesting one, very interesting. We can see that over the last few weeks, what have they been doing? Increasing their long positions, right? We went from cooled off territory to a little bit more aggressive. And what took place with price? An increase in price, right? We saw that increase. Now, what is the major cause of this rally here? The major cause was that the Euro US dollar was dropping. And then we had the news just coming out here with the rate release and NFP. We called the market move on the euro to the upside, which caused the drop to the downside. And it just so, happens to be that we were contacting supply at the same time. But if we look at the data, what do we see? Overall sentiment is somewhat bearish, but 50%. Not very convincing to me. All right. They've got 33,000 long, 33,000 short. Even though there's a tinge of bearishness right now, it wouldn't be enough for me to get excited about any type of sustainable move, I should say, I could say. All right. So that's my thoughts on the US dollar based on the information there. Now let's take a look at the Aussie. Now, do you remember a couple weeks back, we were getting really aggressive with short positions? Now, I posted in the EURUSD report at that point for members. I said, listen, we are expecting price to move up, okay? Positions are so aggressive, they're going to start taking profits, and you know what's going to happen? There's going to be a move up in price. And lo and behold, what do you think took place? From exactly those lows, the big move to the upside. Pretty incredible, pretty incredible. So what are we thinking right now? Well, I look at the shorts and I see that they're somewhat still aggressive, right? They're still aggressive with their positions. And I think that, dropping from 143, 139, 124, we've seen them drop to those levels before, and then they increase them from those levels. So it doesn't mean that this is going to continue with the reduction in short positions. It could be just another preparation for adding back into short positions. It just could be. But when I look at price, I see the chart and I see price is not reacting to any demand on the weekly, not reacting to any supply. But you know what? If you took a look at the latest blog post, or one of the latest blog posts that I posted, there's significant evidence pointing that this is going to drop. So make sure you go check out that post. I'll leave a link in the comments below. Take a look at that post and see the evidence for yourself and see what our forecast is. All right. Good. Let's look at retail sentiment. I was just examining the retail sentiment earlier. And what do I see? I think they're pretty aggressive. 91%. All right. 91% retail at these highs. They were 86. Now they're 91. Very aggressive with shorts. Okay. Go and take a look at that post that I made. You got to see what we are looking at there. Okay. USCAD. Take a look. Aggressive with long positions, right? 119. 112.96, what is that? That's profit taking. That's profit taking. And look, it caused a move to the downside. They're not acquiring longs, which causes pressure to the upside. They're profit taking on longs, which causes a pressure to the downside. So let's look at the sentiment here, because I think this is important. Look at the coloration of the cells over the last couple months. Back in January, February, the coloration of the cells, neutral. March and April, bullish. Okay, bullish. And yes, we did get a big, strong move to the downside, but they just took a massive amount of profit taking on long positions. Very curious to see what's going to happen, but I have my suspicions that we're going to see price reverse back to the upside and head higher. Okay, if we look at retail sentiment, they're about 67% short. Okay, nothing super aggressive, 67% short. Let's take a look at some of the history of their positions. And let's just wait for the data to pop up. Here we go. Last time they were aggressively short, 90, 91%. We got a little bit more of a rally and then the big decline. 67% here. Yeah, I think we could see it push to the upside. These numbers build and then we will see what happens from there. But as you can see, we got some supply that has to be contacted first before that could ever go even much higher. Okay, that's the US CAD. Let's go over to the US Swiss. What do we see? Longs are aggressive, 50, 52, 52. Okay, look at the sentiment here. What do you see? Anything similar to what you're seeing with the US CAD? Yeah, building bullishness. Building bullishness. That's what I see. March and April, same months, building bullishness. Profit taking over these last couple weeks. Yeah, maybe. No, looks like they were adding, but US CAD was profit taking, right? We still got that little drop. I think they're not done yet accumulating positions. That's just my thought. If we look at US Swiss, we can see that 72% of retail are long right now. Okay, 72%. So we'll see. Hard to judge, but we told you ever since demand came into play that the bias was bullish. And that has certainly been the case. Now let's move forward and go to the Euro US dollar. I know this one's a really important one that a lot of people want to look at, and for good reason, because there's a lot of moves taking place recently. We call the move to the upside twice in a row based on the outcome of the data. And look what's happening here. Haven't I been telling you that they're going to be taking profits on long positions? Didn't I say that? Yeah, for quite some time now. And look, now you can see over the last couple months exactly what's been taking place with their long positions. They used to have 213,000. Now it's 167,000. That's profit taking on long positions. Okay. Now let's look here at this column here. They used to be net positions positive 119,000. Now they're at negative 6,000. They're just starting to dip their toe into bearishness. Yeah, I think that the overall storyline of price is that they're accumulating a short position, offloading long positions in preparation for a big move to the downside. I've been saying that for the longest time, and you can see that it is slowly coming to fruition. All right. If we look at retail sentiment, what do we see? 81% of their positions are short right now. Okay, 81%. So let's go over to the Euro US dollar just to quickly take a look. And sure enough, you know, here we go, 81%. So what are we thinking here? What are we thinking? Well, I'm thinking that these numbers are going to become bigger. We're going to see maybe 85%, maybe 90s. But in order for that to happen, we will likely see a push a little bit more higher from this area. Okay, just thinking, a little bit more higher. And then the big moment's going to happen. I'm not going to reveal what that moment is, but it's coming. That's all I got to tell you. All right, pound US dollar. And look, they took massive profits on long positions. Look at that. They used to be 123,000 back in March. And then boom, they took profits. And then what did we see with price? A big decline on the charts. Now you can see them acquiring a short position. Hey, does it look similar to something else that we just were looking at 2 seconds ago? Yeah, I think so. Look at that. Bullishness to bearishness. Interesting, right? Very interesting. What are retail traders at right now with their positions? About 69% short. Not much. What's going on there? Let's take a look at some of the history of the positions here. And wait for it to load up. Here we go. 73, 74, 79, 69. Nothing really too shabby here to look at. Okay? Nothing crazy. So looking at the data, looking at the positions, what do I think? I think over time we're probably going to see more bearishness rather than bullishness. Okay, just my thoughts. We'll progress forward and see what happens. Holy smokeroonies, look at this, US dollar, Japanese yen. Didn't I tell you they're going to take profits? I told you before. I told you before it happened. Look, guys, now we see the data, and it confirms exactly what I told you. 222,000 they were at. Boom, profit taking, 208. Remember that big spike in price? I said, no, don't be buying on this big spike in price, because they're just going to lure you in. They're going to lure you in. And what do you think they did? They lured them in. Okay? This big spike in price. Retail traders were switching their shorts for longs. That's what happened. They switched their shorts for longs. Whose longs were they taking? The banks, the ones that they're trying to offload here, right there, from 222 to 208. All right? So look, you think it's a coincidence that we contacted a supply zone and then price dropped? Look, contacted the supply zone, price dropped. No, it's not a coincidence. All right? But do I think they're done with pushing price higher? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's a very good chance we're going to start to see this curl back up. Okay? It may take some time to get there, but I think that's what's going to happen. Retail traders, they're so lost right now, 56% long. And so they offloaded their shorts, went long at the wrong time, right before price declined. And this is the case now. All right? So last but not least, let's look at the New Zealand US dollar, the Kiwi. Increasing in longs, nothing special. Shorts, aggressive with shorts, but nothing really too aggressive. We look at the overall sentiment. Look, they used to be neutral, then a little bit bullish, then a little bit bearish. Now we're just kind of sitting in bearishness, a little bit in bearishness. Okay, not much more there. If we look at retail sentiment, what do we see? 85% short. That is huge. That's actually pretty huge. 85% short. All right, look at the positions right here. They used to be long down here. So what do you think they did? They pushed price up. Now they're getting shorts. So what do you think is going to happen? Probably, likely, logically, you have to assume price is going to head down. And that's in perfect correlation to what we're seeing with all the other pairs, right? The pound, the euro, all that good stuff. All right. I'm not going to give away too much. If you want more details, come and join us, whiteoakfx.com, and read the EURUSD report. We have it all detailed there, exactly what we think is going to take place and how we're going to reap the benefits of the moves that are about to come. All right, ladies and gents, I hope that was satisfactory to you, and leave some comments below. I love your comments. Your comments are always the best. They completely make my day. I love seeing the feedback that you guys have to offer me, and I love the fact that you're getting a lot out of the analysis that we are posting. If you want more, you want to learn more, come join us. That's all I got to say. All right? Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday at our live show. All right? Take care, guys. Bye-bye.